Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. I know I'm looking forward to the weekend. 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays. It's the food, it's the fellowship, it's the general excitement of the thing that always gets me. So, in that spirit, I went ahead and made this cake. Now, it is called a Lavender Chocolate Dream Cake. Now, a couple of notes before I show you the recipe. Number one, the ground chocolate that I used ran out, so I had to use the black chocolate that I used in my Mordor cake. So, if mine turns out darker than yours, that's why. Number two, a lot of the ingredients are lavender based. Now, I had to go out hunting for dried lavender. Culinary level dried lavender, mind you. Don't just go picking lavender off the side of the road. I had to grind mine up myself, but I had a cheapo mortar that I used, and I don't think I ground it up enough. So if you can find pre-ground dried lavender for the cake itself, absolutely do that. If you can't, and you can only find dried lavender buds, get a stone mortar and use that to grind everything up, because you're only using a teaspoon or a tablespoon at a time. But with those warnings out of the way, here's the recipe. Let me know what you think. Try it for yourself. Let me know how it tastes. Let me know how it looks for y'all. And as always, I appreciate you, and I will see y'all again next time. All right, ingredients are on the board, and it's time to go. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your flour, your cocoa, your salt, your baking powder, and your baking soda. Put them in a medium-sized bowl and go ahead and mix them up and set it to the side for right now. We're going to save that to the very last part of baking the actual cake. Make sure everything gets mixed up well. You want a nice and even mix on this to make sure there's no clumps of baking soda or salt packed away in your mix. Next up, you're going to take your sugar and your oil and go ahead and whisk them together until they are well combined. Now make sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl as you do this. You don't want any just kind of wet sugar hanging out on the side, because that is going to harden and it's going to mess up your mix later. As you're going to see here, this is before I scraped down my sides, and you can see some of the sugar just riding up the edge. Now, after everything's well mixed, you're going to go ahead and add your eggs one at a time and mix them until they are well combined. You're going to do it with both eggs, so no worry that you still see here that I haven't scraped down. I'm going to scrape it down in a second here. Now, once both eggs are mixed up, you're going to go ahead and pour in your vanilla and go ahead and mix that up well as well. Now, after all that's mixed up, you're going to take a separate bowl and you're going to pour in your ground lavender and your buttermilk, and you're going to let that just sit and steep for about 5 minutes to let that lavender flavor kind of spread itself out. Like I said in the beginning, you see that I tried to grind this lavender up by myself. I don't think it really worked for me. I needed a better mortar, but, learning's half the fun, right? Now, after it steeps, you're going to go ahead and add in your dry ingredients to your wet, and you're going to alternate between dry and the lavender buttermilk mixture and get everything mixed up nice and well. Again, my mix is going to be darker because I'm using some of the black cocoa that I use for the Mordor cake. So you see here that it's really, really black. Don't worry about it. I promise your cake with regular unrefined cocoa is going to be just as good. Now, once everything is mixed up, now you're going to add in your strong coffee, making sure that it's cooled because you don't want to cook this and curdle it. And you're going to go ahead and mix everything up until it's nice and evenly distributed. Once that's all done, you're going to go ahead and take 3 9-inch cake pans, layer them with parchment at the bottom, butter them up, divide your batter. Now you're going to bake these at 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes, or until you can put a skewer in the center and nothing comes out when you pull the skewer out. I like to use the springform pans because I feel like they cook a little evenly, but you can use whatever pan you want. But once they come out, go ahead and let them cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, then set them on racks. Now we're going to work on the blueberry compote. Now, if you've watched my channel, I've done these before. But just to go over it again, you're going to take your blueberries, put them in a small to medium saucepan. Go ahead and add your sugar and your lemon juice, and go ahead and let that cook over medium heat for about 5 to 10 minutes, or until you see the blueberries begin to pop and kind of break down. Now everything should look about like this. When you get to this point, go ahead and add your cornstarch and water, mix it up nice and evenly, and go ahead and let it cook for about 2 minutes more, or until the blueberry compote begins to thicken up. Now, as always, you're going to want to use the spoon method to go ahead and test to see if your compote is ready to come off the heat. Spoon method, once again, is just getting the back of the spoon wet, hold it up, and you're going to judge the drips. If it drips slowly or almost not at all, then you're ready to go. If it freely drips, that means it's got a little longer to cook. As you can see here, mine is very slow, very collected, so I'm good to take this off the heat and let it cool off. Now the fun part, the ganache. Now this, again, is very simple. All you're going to do is take your heavy cream, put it into a medium saucepan, as you see here, and go ahead and heat that up on low heat and let it get to just about simmering. Now keep your eye on it because it will boil over fast. After it simmers, take it off the heat. Go ahead and take your dried lavender bud, put it in there to steep for about 5 minutes. Again, letting that lavender flavor kind of distribute itself. If it just sits on the top like this, go ahead and mix it in a little. It can't hurt anything. Now after it steeps, you're going to want to separate your lavender from your cream there. So go ahead and take a sieve, pour it through into a separate bowl so it catches all those buds. Next, you're just going to pour all that hot cream over your dark chocolate chips, as you see here. Go ahead and let that sit for about 5 minutes. Now be careful not to let this sit too long, because if you have a cool ganache, it's not going to spread as evenly on your cake layer. So go ahead and just keep an eye on it, and when it gets to just about cool enough that you can touch it freely without burning yourself, then you'll know that it's okay. Now I will say, the butter that you see here will be optional. I put it in there to give my ganache a little extra gleam. If you don't care about that gleam, don't worry about the butter. Now for assembly, very straightforward. Take your first layer of cake, put a thin layer of the compote over that cake, repeat with the next layer. That should use about all the compote that you have between those two layers. Make sure all the cake layers line up evenly, and when you do, pour that ganache over the top so it runs down every side of your cake. You want this to almost be an encapsulated chocolate cake. Now once you get that ganache spread, you can also decorate it. I chose to use blueberries, but you can also use chocolate shavings, or if you want to use lavender flowers, you can do that. But in the end, you should have something beautiful.